So we know that great readers underline or take notes to help them remember important information from nonfiction texts. We see even Lil Nas X needs to refer to his notes. So, as great readers, let's practice taking some notes today. Today, we're going to read chapter 4 in our War of 1812 reader together. We're going to do this while writing down that important information to help ourselves remember and understand our text even better. I'll take notes up here, but you're going to need a pencil and paper to take notes as well. Go get it. Now. We're going to have a quiz at the end, and your notes are going to come in handy for that quiz. You got your pencil and paper? All right. So, as we read, we know great readers track the words as they're being read. And when we read nonfiction texts, we know we stop at the end of each page to ask ourselves, what important information did we just learn? Finally, we're going to take notes and write that important information down. Let's start reading. Chapter 4, A Famous Ship. The ship on the right is the USS Constitution. USS, what do you think that stands for? Let's keep reading and find out. It was one of the ships that battled in the War of 1812. The letters USS stand for United States Ship. Wait, what does USS stand for? Let me hear. Yes, United States Ship. We see it right here. Nice work. Ooh, on the right I see an image and some text underneath. Do you remember what that text underneath is called? Yes, a caption. We know captions help us better understand our text by telling us what's going on in the picture. And we know they're an important text feature, especially in nonfiction texts. Let's see what it says. The USS Constitution. Oh, so here we have a picture of the ship that they're talking about, the USS Constitution. Wow. So what important information did we learn on this page? Yeah, we learned about this famous ship called what? Yes, the USS Constitution. And it's important that we remember that USS stands for United States Ship. Write that down. Got it? Next page. All right, let's get ready to track. The USS Constitution was named for a very important document, the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution lays out the laws of the land. Who can remind me, what is the Constitution? Yeah, we see here it's a document that lays out the laws of the land. Nice, way to go back to your text for evidence. Let's keep reading. It states what people serving in each branch of the U.S. government can do. It says what the President, the Congress, and the Supreme Court can do, and also what they cannot do. James Madison had helped write the Constitution. He had also played a key role in getting states to accept it. The people of the United States were proud of the Constitution, so they named one of their fighting ships the USS Constitution. What do we see over here? Another picture and another caption. Let's read our caption together. Read with me. A painting of the Constitutional Convention, where the U.S. Constitution was signed. Oh, so we see up here, this is where they signed the Constitution. Great. Let's make sure we ask ourselves what important information we learned. This page was about the Constitution, and at the end, the people named a fighting ship after it. Why did they name the fighting ship after the Constitution? Yes, it says right here in our text, the people of the United States were proud of the Constitution. So they named one of their fighting ships after it. Let's write that down. The people of the United States were proud of the Constitution, so they named one of their fighting ships the USS Constitution. Got it written down? You know what it's time to do? Flip the page. All right. Track as I read. Trackers ready. During the War of 1812, the USS Constitution had a string of battles on the high seas. In one battle, the USS Constitution attacked a British ship. It was a hard fight. The sailors on both sides fired cannons. The guns blazed and smoked. The two ships drifted closer. Once, they even bumped into each other. Cannonballs from the USS Constitution smashed into the side of the British ship. They made big holes in it. They ripped off a sail. They knocked down the ship's masts. Ooh, masts are these things that are really tall in the ship that help hold up the sails. Let's keep reading. Track the. The British ship fired back, but its cannonballs did less damage to the US ship. In fact, some of them bounced off the thick walls of the American ship. When the American sailors saw this, they cheered. Hooray, one of them shouted, her sides are made of iron. In fact, however, the sides of the ship were not made of iron, but of very thick planks of wood. The wooden sides of the USS Constitution were much thicker than most ships. Over here, read the caption with me. The USS Constitution. Oh, so we see that boat right here. We just read a lot of information. Let's make sure we ask ourselves about the important information we just learned. Now, why did the Americans say that the USS Constitution's walls were made of iron? Why did they say her sides were made of iron? Yes, we see in our text that the cannonballs did less damage to the US ship, and some of them even bounced off the thick walls of the American ship. Did the same thing happen to the British ship? No. Let's make sure we write our important information down. So, during the battles, we know that some cannonballs bounced off the thick walls of the USS Constitution. Write it down. Flip the page. Track those words. Ready? Let's go. The USS Constitution won the battle. The British ship was so smashed up that it could not be fixed. The British had to sink it. When people were told about the battle, they became excited. They yelled and shouted. They waved flags and had parties. They treated the sailors on the USS Constitution as heroes. They also gave the ship a nickname. They called it Old Ironsides because its wooden sides seemed as strong as iron. Old Ironsides kept on fighting. It battled more than 20 times and never lost a battle. Oh, we see a caption. Let's read it together. The USS Constitution is still floating today. You can see Old Ironsides in Boston Harbor. We just got to the end of a page and the end of our chapter. What important information did we learn? We heard of a nickname that the ship was given. What nickname was the USS Constitution given because of its thick sides? Yes, the USS Constitution was nicknamed Old Ironsides. Make sure you write down our notes. We just read a whole chapter and took notes together, and now it's your turn to show what you know on your quiz. Now, on your quiz, you're going to use those notes that you wrote down. Told you they'd come in handy. You're going to read each question twice. Go back to your notes for evidence. If you can't find it in your notes, go back to the video, find it in the text, and select the answer that matches your notes or the text. You got this, second grade. Go get 'em.